The only reason why a lot of women think that men are so bad, they're anti-men, is because they have had bad experiences.
Why does it seem that bravery, emotional bravery, is only required of men? Describe, let's talk about it.
Yeah, my friend was saying that, there's a lot of women out here who are very much anti-men, and men are bad and men are awful and men are just so this, that, and the third. But my answer and my response to that was, the only reason why a lot of women think that men are so bad, they're anti-men, is because they have had bad experiences. But they started out wanting a man, desiring a man, wanting long-term partnership, but because of wrong choices, bad men, or whatever the case might be, then they've adopted this ideology of, I'll never find a good man, so now I'm anti-men.
So we're not here to denounce anyone's real trauma, real experiences with men, having a bad experience and then this turning you off. It's the turning you off part. It's when we talk about emotional intelligence, part of that should be resilience. The ability to get knocked down and say, okay, even if it takes time, I'm able to stand back up and say, that was a unique experience between myself and that other person, maybe other persons. But that does not mean the next person is going to be the same. No matter how many times, this is math, this is probability, no matter how many times your experience with someone has been, whatever it's been, negative, positive, that does not mean that the very next person in line is going to be the same. It's just not how it works. When we talk about emotional intelligence, we never really harp on this and saying, I get why you've had it. I get it. Right? I'm never here going to say, women, you're lying about your experience. I have a sister and she shows me some of these choices on the dating apps and it is cringe. It is completely ridiculous. It's completely awful. I've got a lot of close friends that say, yeah, not everyone has that sort of emotional intelligence and able to communicate like you do. I believe it. However, what I always had trouble wrapping my head around is, okay, you had a bad experience. Okay. Do you think, in terms of from the first time you started dating till now, that it was going to be easy? Where you're trying to find someone that you can merge your life with, that you can take two parts of a disparate whole and bring them together and build something else that's beautiful, that's better. Do you think that's an easy process? As you have more and more issues, things pulling your attention away today, social media does a great job of inserting itself into your life, into your bedroom, into your kitchen. We use this thing as the new Bible. We look and say, if I need any information, I know I have to look it up. If I need a recipe, this is what I'm gonna. If I have a question about philosophy, I'm gonna go turn towards my phone. I don't do these things for my partner anymore. I don't look towards that partner. I don't look towards this other person for guidance, for help, for joy. It's in my phone. So the phone has such control over you. But for whatever reason, nowhere in this looking up this phone does it say, yeah, man, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt, but you're gonna have to get up. A lot of this messaging is what you find when men they look online. A little while ago, someone pointed out, a lot of the female content is about you're great, you're dope. You don't need all these other extraneous things. Male content is usually like, yo, you got to get up. You have to work through that. I know you hurt. I know that sucks. I know you're bleeding. I know you're broken. But one more step. Don't worry about next week, next month, next year. Just give me today. And then tomorrow, just give me today. That's a lot of how male content is really centered around. So I get why you would think you're just supposed to be resilient as men, but you have to adopt some of that. You have to look at some of that and say, yeah, of course it didn't work. The stats against you are enormous. You only have to get it right once, but that means you're going to have to try. I look at it like this, right? And this could be a selfish way. This could just be kind of the masculine sort of programming that we grew up with. I look at it a lot like Vegeta does. That pride that he has. And I was having this conversation a couple of weeks ago over breakfast. I can't let someone in the past, some past relationship, I can't let that person have so much authority over me so much of a hold on my future and the lens in which I look at women and for the rest of my life, that you, women of the past, get to tell me that this next person I'm going to meet, I've already prejudged. I already look at them and say, you are the worst of all the things about you because I had a bad experience. When you get in a car accident, you don't now say, I'll never get on the road again. You understand this intrinsically because you know you're going to have to. So what do? You find the courage. You say, okay, that's what I got to do. I've been in a bad accident before. I was very young, and it took me a week to get back behind the wheel. Not because I was cognitively aware of it. I just said, I don't want to. And then the first time I got behind the wheel, there was a bit of fear in that. So you're going to have to get over this. There's no way you, at this age, at 20 years old, you're going to be able to avoid driving for the rest of your life. That's not going to happen. Get on the road. Yeah, sometimes the fear won't go away, so you got to do it afraid. Same thing relationships. You don't like that you've had a poor experience with men. Sure, get it. You go to the other side and men could say the very same thing. I've had a bad experience with women. Boom. This is why I hate you. This is why you're the worst. This is why everything about you is terrible. They can say the same thing with other men. Yeah, other men have dogged me out. I've gotten into fights. They've betrayed me. Cool. You're going to have to get over that. It's unfortunate. But if you want any modicum of success with another person on this planet, you're going to have to get over some of this fear. Of course, you can go the other route, just clam up and say, no, I'm done. I'm just not going to deal with it. I'm going to just live my life according to these rules. And that's fine. Right? That's fine. You see a lot of content out here that likes to push out that, hey, we're better together. And while I agree with that, it has to be two healthy people. That attitude, that belief system that I'm just going to close myself off from everyone else, that's not really healthy. It's really what you see sometimes of children, of toddlers. When something goes wrong, you just have this give up. I'm never going to touch it. I'm never going to come anywhere near it. And you're given that grace and understanding. This is where we have to insist and correct you. Yeah, you're going to eat that broccoli, right? You're going to have to eat that broccoli. You can't avoid vegetables and greens and stuff you don't like for the rest of your life. You can't. Your life just started. You're going to do a lot of things that you don't want to do, but turns out to actually be healthy for you. You never know. That's why we always encourage people, when you go out, your best foot forward. You never know who that next person you may meet. You never know if you just open your mouth and have that conversation, that person can actually change your life. Not so always in a romantic way, but in an enlightening way. When I mentor students, I would always say, yeah, have conversations. Talk about what you want to do. Talk about your experience in doing that. Most people that are doing better than you are more than willing to sit down and help you. They realize at a certain level, you realize there's more than enough room at the top. That gatekeeping is not really a thing. That's a scarcity sort of, resource guarding mentality. When you get that high up, yeah, that's fine. We'll sit down. I'll sit down and have a conversation about real estate with you. Right? About being a landlord, buy and hold, about my experiences. I'll have that conversation. I'm not gatekeeping this because your success does nothing for mine. But none of this can be possible if the first time you hit a roadblock, or the second time, or the third time, or the fourth time, or the fifth time, and you just say, you know what, I'm done with this. It's that very next time that can make the difference. The question is what you need to do. During that time, what are you doing in between the bouts? What are you doing in between the rounds, in between the matches? If you just take your time, you're just getting up and saying, all right, next one. You're just carrying forward all this trauma. You're taking your luggage, you're taking your baggage, and you're dropping it in someone's lap, and then saying, well, this didn't work. There's reasons why. One, like I said many times, we're often not critical enough when it comes to our women. We're not saying, hey, maybe you're single, but maybe you're not ready to date, because just this little exchange that we've had, I got some sort of vitriol from you, which I never earned. This is something that's carrying over. This is something that's wormed its way into your spirit, and this is now how you react. But it's hard to have that conversation when you're looking at men as the enemy by default. I don't know you. At this point, you guys know more about my life than I know about yours. So in this case, you have to go out with some sort of grace, some sort of understanding first for yourself, and realize that you don't have to date right now. You don't have to engage with someone right now. You can take your time, you can heal, you can breathe. But what do they tell us when we're younger? You got to get back on that horse. Get your mind out of the gutter. Listen, if you disagree, let me know down in the comment section below. If you see other videos on your screen, check those out. Let me know your thoughts about those in those videos. And of course, if you're listening to my voice now, you have not subscribed, I think you should. We're just trying to build something dope. I'll see you in the next one.